Hi, my name's Rachel Andrews. Welcome to Everyday Athlete. On this week's video, we're on a bit of a mission. Well, I'm in Nuuk, the capital of Greenland, and I've got a day off, so we're going to go for a bit of explore. I had hoped to go for a swim, but having stepped outside the hotel, it's the same temperature as a ski resort, and I've taken a little look at the sea temperature and it says it's 3.5 degrees. So, ever the optimist, I've got my kit with me, but I'm not expecting to use it. One thing that is interesting though is that from breakfast I could see icebergs. Again, another knock against whether or not I'll get a swim. But I thought it would be just as interesting to go and have a look, see if we can find some icebergs. But I think they're on the far shore. Anyway, come with me for a walk around Nuuk. We're taking in the countryside. According to Google Maps, I've just turned up at Old Nuuk. It's parked behind me. So let's go and have a little look through there. Then I'm heading for the coast to see if we can have a little wander along that, spot some icebergs, maybe even some sea mammals. I think the sea mammal we're not going to be seeing is talking to the camera. I'm somewhat ruining the fact that I took out the extra pair of leggings I had in, because quite frankly my jeans are not really cutting it in this 5 degrees. This is chilly, and I think from the wind direction that the wind is blowing down off of the ice sheet, so that would also give a slight nip in the air. Well, I've just managed to get into the iceberg spotting zone. What I don't think is that you'll pick it up on this GoPro. I mean, we can have a little look, let's see what we can see. There's one, let me just describe it. See the yellow house and the little thing behind it? There's one just behind that. I'm going to try and get up to a viewpoint so maybe we can see some from there. I hope this is a genuine path and not just through someone's garden. Luckily I'm clothed discreetly so no one will spot me. This is hillier than I had anticipated. So yeah, I'll stop the heavy breathing and get myself up to the viewpoint. Iceberg. Three icebergs. 3 more, some further out to sea. I can see there's lots more icebergs up this way, and I think they come down the fjord this way. Well, with all the icebergs, the beautiful mountains, lots of seal down this side, I think we're going to take the coastal path. I think there's a boardwalk somewhere. I've yet to find it. A bit rocky around here. But let's take the boardwalk and see if we can spot anything. This is a whole lot less freezing now that I'm out of that wind. But what a pretty place. So much to look at. Lots of little houses and icebergs. No sea mammals yet, but we'll keep looking. Well, I just spotted a sight which really surprised me. I thought it was a couple of antlers. I went in close to take a photo and they both still had the reindeer's head on them. Bit gruesome. Certainly got me to move on fairly quickly. New build property, must be comfortable with stairs. You wouldn't want to forget anything in the car, would you? Blimey. Let's switch it up a bit and do a little bit of off-roading. We follow this path, not entirely sure where it's going to go. Let's go and have a look. Everywhere you look, there is a phenomenal view. I'm really thinking that today is not the day for the swim, but on the upside, I think on the far side of this little harbour, that might be the start of the boardwalk, which I've been looking for. It'll stop me shortcutting through what might be people's back gardens, although there have been little paths. Yeah, difficult to tell. Okay, I've had to tool up with a couple of extras that I had in my bag, which were supposed to be for post swimming. I've got my neck warmer on and my little hand warmers, although my fingers are still a bit nippy, but they can go in my pockets. So let's go and find, well, I'm half interested to go and find out about this figure at the top, because I think it might be Hans Egede, who's I guess the hotel is named after him that I'm staying in, so quite interested to see who that person is. And it seems there are a few people out there who also seem interested. Right, well, let's go and have a little look. Not a great deal of detail about Hans Egede. If anyone knows about him, could you put it in the comments below? I will of course Google, but I tell you what, he's got a good view. I'll show you it. Yep, literally no information up here. Anyway, we are back round to the old town. So we've been up there, past the little white house on the top, looking at the huge hill that doesn't look that big when you're there. And then I've pretty much come around the front of Old Nuuk, so I've sort of done a circuit of it. Once we've had a little look down there, I'm going to head along this way and try and pick up that boardwalk and see what's what. Cool. These sea kayaks are well protected with a bit of tape or something. Yeah, because they are. Some of these are fiberglass, and that must be a really decent seal launch over those rocks. It must scrape them to pieces. Wow. What is that? Kind of fabric-y construction. That is so cool. God, look at this one. Made of wood with, this feels like maybe bone. Probably a semi-traditional wake because some of this looks like man-made material, but some of it looks like it's come out of the environment. That is really cool. Doesn't look ever so comfy though, does it? Here's the seat. And the backrest. Blimey. I bet it's nimble though. So from Canoe Beach I've just spotted a sculpture which I saw online, although I don't remember any of the detail of it. Let's go and have a little look at that because that looks pretty interesting. I am moving along like a grandma here. I definitely don't want to slip over on this because it looks like a real backcracker. Action packed. Well, this looks to show all of the sea mammals and other things I was hoping to see. Polar bear, tick, seen it here. Seal, maybe a beluga whale at the bottom. A couple of naked people, haven't seen them. And some fish. Oh, and a walrus. I daren't go all the way around it. I might try, but off camera. But I am a little bit disconcerted by what skin this might be down here. Polar bear? Reindeer? Bit of an odd place to find it though. Looks like this is the kayak club then. And here's what they look like, minus the Christmas lights underneath. What an enormous amount of work. Really cool to see a kayak skeleton though. That last little bit we were looking around is called Colonial Harbour. I saw that because there was a little sign kicking around. And we have finally reached the bottom of the boardwalk. When I say the bottom of the boardwalk, I mean because it looks like it's got 50 steps to start it. I was imagining a boardwalk would be nice and flat. Here we go. Looking at the construction of it under here and having seen it underneath quite a few of the buildings, there's not a lot that Greenlanders don't know about making steps and protruding balconies. But yeah, great view of the icebergs again. Maybe we'll see one close enough for you to see too. That is really beautiful engineering. I'm loving the fact it just zigzags right on the coast. well, aside from this bit here, it looks like I might be at the end of the boardwalk, but I was going to head on towards a little beach that is in a country park. I don't know if it'll look much different to the countryside we've already seen this morning, but let's carry on and have a look anyway. Oh my absolute word, I've spotted an ice cube, I was going to say an iceberg, that I'm pretty sure you'll be able to see, and we can get quite close to it. It's between the roofs of the houses there, this little white thing here. Awesome. Let's go find it. Here's my first sandy beach, and actually this is where I was hoping to go for a swim. I think I'll leave that hope where it is. What a beauty! What an absolute belter. That thing is huge. I'm going to say it's the size of a house, but I don't really have anything apart from the houses up there to kind of measure it against. And there's a little one just there that I'm going to see if we can get a bit closer to, because I reckon they look really beautiful up close. But the colours on that are amazing. Honestly, this is one of the most thrilling things ever for me. When I spotted some out of the plane window, I was really stunned, didn't even think about it. And now having seen one up close, that is awesome. Well, I made it down to the beach, but as you can hear, the wind's on the back of me and blowing offshore. But flipping heck, it's almost within touching distance. But I think it's aground, and it's not very deep going over to it, so it'd be risky. Apart from the fact it'd be risky getting cold and swimmers, with no one overlooking it and no real backup. I also think the risk is tripping over trying to get to it. However, I will have a little scramble about and see if I can get any closer. I'm just in awe of the I'm sure they're not called icebergs, someone will correct me, I'm sure, the multiple times I've said it, but they're bits that have dropped off the end of an ice sheet. Ice nodules. They're bigger than ice cubes, and they're not even cubular. I'm just going to have to stay here a while and stare at them because the colour is amazing. The thing that makes me sad is wondering how old this is and what a sign of global warming that I should be able to sit effectively at the beach in Greenland and be passed by an iceberg. It's kind of sad, isn't it? It makes you think. Well, I just told somebody, another passerby, that you get a good view of the big iceberg over there, and that was so exciting because I'd never seen one before, and she pretty much laughed in my face. Anyway, I've come over the hump down into the third beach, and I'm going to be able to boop this one because it is so close. Look at this, it's a little weeny one. Doink! Now we can see if there's even a noise to it. God, look at this. Wow. That is amazing. I'm gonna, I gotta sniff it. Sort of smells like the ice cube tray at home. Wowzers. Look at these beautiful colours. All the holes through it. Amazing. Well, you know what? I actually don't think that I can beat that on my little walk around Nuuk. I went off in search of icebergs. I said I'd try and get one that you'd be able to see, and now you've been able to pretty much sniff it and have a stroke with me. How exciting. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this week's video, and if you have, give it a like, drop me a subscribe, and tell me in the comments what on earth these things are called when they're this small, because I don't think it's icebergs. I think I've got the wrong term. Anyway, I look forward to seeing you soon, and hopefully I'll be in the water again soon. Take it easy and enjoy the water. Bye! Moon face.